I'll show you how it's done. Shazam!
Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to Underdeveloped Here, your number millionth home for reviews and reactions and all that good stuff to all the movies and shows that we love. Today we have another review for you guys, of course, to the newest Halle Berry flick. It's a horror film that she's in called Never Let Go. Not a big fan of the title. I wish they would have went with like maybe The Big Evil or The Evil. I think that would be cool.
I think The Evil's kind of too generic. Like I
think Never Let Go is generic. I would say Speak No Evil, but there's already or See No Evil, but I'm pretty sure there's already a
there already is a movie called See No Evil.
Yeah, which so kind of sucks you can't use it.
Yeah.
But to me, I thought that would be like a perfect title.
Yeah.
See No Evil.
See No Evil, which stars the wrestler Kane as the serial killer. Yes.
God.
That's a real movie. It's not that good.
It doesn't sound good if you use Kane. Essentially, it's about this family trying to survive in the woods to protect themselves from what they believe is the evil. It's a manifestation that only comes to Halle Berry's character, but she knows to protect them at all costs from the evil, because if the evil comes, it will make her kill her own sons. Mm-hmm. At least that's what she believes.
Yeah.
So one brother is loyal to the mother, and the younger one is rebellious to the plan and veers so far away from the plan that it puts his whole family in jeopardy. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the story.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, so it's evil. Basically, evil is just it's a presence that she believes can corrupt, that has corrupted the world.
Yeah.
And so she has to. So the evil to Halle Berry's character is pretty much it's pretty much a presence that comes in many manifestations that pretty much has affected the entire world. So she has to keep her and her boys safe from the evil, so they stay secluded in the woods.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what she's hiding from.
Yeah, that's very much her belief system.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, they also have very clear religious symbolism in terms of the house itself. Like they worship the wood, where they always touch the wood when they leave when they leave home. They always always touch their wood when they pray, and they. And I know this last one isn't a religious thing, but at some point they start just eating tree bark because that's all they fucking get.
Yeah, because they have no choice, because they're just secluded to this specific area. If they go too far out the area, now you're in enemy territory. You could be affected by the evil. We have to stay on this tight rope.
Yeah,
it's kind of how certain overprotective parents have their children on a tight leash.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying.
I'm sure the symbolism there is very intentional.
It's for sure an obvious metaphor for how these overprotective religious zealots. It's like being the mind of a religious zealot.
Yeah.
And really getting the perspective of how they view the world. Everything is evil. The
Like,
evil is all the people out there.
Yeah.
They're going to affect us with their minds and ideas.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. But when I was watching this movie, I was thinking about I know a lot of culty rhetoric is a lot like that. I know that a lot of religious zealots are homeschooling their kids and is basically putting them in through kind of similar of a tight leash.
Yeah.
So that was very much in my mind when I was watching this movie. I'm like, okay, there's a very obvious allegory to something that's really happening and really fucked up. That people are and even then, some of the things that the mom says remind me of some things that some religious people say. Because some real crazy religious people say, "Oh man, if I didn't have God in my life, I would just start killing, and murdering everyone." What? If you don't believe, why aren't you killing, murdering everyone? That's their mentality. So when she said, "If I let the evil touch me, I will kill my babies," I was thinking of that. I'm like, oh shit, she's really on the deep end. She's fucking nuts.
But she also was willing to kill herself to protect them, because if she got infected by the evil, she believed she would kill her kids, so she didn't kill herself. You know what I mean? A noble sacrifice in her eyes, but then it's was it even real to begin with?
Yeah.
You know,
because that's very vague whether or not the evil is actually real.
And that's just how her perception of it is.
It's spoilery, but it's very obvious that she's lying about the outside world ending. That much is definitely a lie.
But my thing, how much does maybe she really thought it ended, maybe she's that crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe her perception, I think her perception of reality is that twisted.
Yeah.
Like she has some actual illness, some mental illness, something
she
probably
definitely
really,
does.
really traumatic happened to her.
I'm not calling her crazy because to insult her. I'm calling her crazy. I'm saying she's crazy, like legitimately
that's the same thing. I was like legitimately like some very traumatic things happen to her. Maybe killing her husband or mother, I don't know, and it would create this warped reality in her mind. Like it just makes some schizophrenia, maybe some kind of crazy things because she's seeing things that are simply just not there. Because why she only can see it and the kids can't see it if it's some actual presence.
Yeah, but then of course after she dies, the kids eventually do start seeing it.
Exactly,
and that raises questions.
There is questions, but also a thing about the whole like culty mindset. It has spilled off into them. Yes. And it gets to the point where the older son is literally mimicking his mother.
Yes, like that. Like that's the thing. A lot like. I feel like 99% of what happens in this movie could be answered either straight up or it's just all in their heads. But there's some things there that's like a little harder to be like, okay, there's probably some validation to this because when the kid takes the fucking when the kid takes a photo of himself in front of the burning house cabin, you do see the evil's hand touching his shoulder. That's
the very last thing. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, that and even then, like after the older brother gets possessed, the younger brother looks up and sees a dark shadow emanating over him. So it's clear, like since he looks up, okay, he's seeing that.
Yeah.
So those are the only two examples I could think of it actually like possibly being legit real that couldn't be explained by just
and both of them getting airlifted out into the real world, seeing an actual base, actual city, actual community. It's like okay, obviously there is a real world. Yeah. So how much of it is actually true? Maybe can they both coexist, or is like what we're seeing is not real, or the mother just full of shit and crazy?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways you could possibly interpret this movie. It's not super clear, but it's fine that's not super clear. I actually like that because it gives me more things to talk about with the movie. I like it when a movie makes me think, a movie makes me question what I'm seeing.
As we were watching it, I was literally like saying because it was getting to the point where they were actually leaning more into this. The mother's just crazy, and they have to realize that it's all real and not fake. You know what I mean? But I was saying, actually, I think it'd be a lot more powerful if they actually keep it ambiguous, because then it makes the allegory, makes the metaphor that much more prominent. You know what I mean? Like, what's really the evil? Is the evil really here? Because the whole point is the devil real? You know, the greatest lie the devil's ever told was that he doesn't exist. It kind of plays into those like religious narratives that evil is actually lurking. So is it really lurking, or is it just in our heads? As kind of the internal struggle that we all kind of go through. Like it kind of if you keep it that way, it's very relatable. You know what I mean? To our own delusions, our own perceptions of things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, are we blowing things out of proportion? Are we not? So it's like, but if you give us a deliberate answer, then you kind of like, now you're guiding us to think differently. You know what I mean? I kind of like to keep us thinking. Yeah. You know, keep us constantly. Don't give us a direct answer. You know, this is the kind of movie that I don't mind to leave it up to interpretation. You know? Yeah.
I think a lot of movies are made more interesting by leaving up to interpretation. Yeah. Like this one, like I was full expecting Halle Berry to be like full blown the villain by the end, which I'm like she kind of doesn't get that way.
No, yeah, she kind of goes out, sacrifices herself for her kids. You know,
or at least that's how she justifies it.
Yeah, I mean, in her perception, she was just protecting the kids. Like, I'd rather kill myself than be in a position where I have to kill my own kids.
Well, in reality, it's very clearly a motivation tactic of self harm to make her kids not to leave the religion.
Quite possibly, but we saw in her perception, we saw what she was seeing.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. I'm not saying that's not why she did it. I'm just saying that like the real world equivalent to that is that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's like that's something people actually do.
That's what sealed it for the older son, because he was like, mother died for this, so it has to be real. You know what I mean? I mean, she's going that extreme to prove something. You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
That's the thing. People are really afraid of doing something for nothing, of devoting themselves for nothing, of dying for nothing.
That's really religion in a nutshell.
Yeah, it is. Like it is like cultists manipulate that fear to keep you entrapped in their society.
Yeah.
And the moment you leave, a good chunk of them are like, "You're gone forever. We're going to take away your whole social network. None of us are ever talking to you again."
Yeah, I mean, this whole movie's pretty much an allegory for cultism.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
For the occult or their beliefs and how they keep you manipulated. You know what I mean? So you can't really differentiate reality and the fiction that you created in your own mind.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, I like this because it's beyond just a horror film. This is like a film that keeps you suspenseful, keeps you thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It actually tries to tell a story. It actually has a thematic base.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I really respect that.
I do too. I think this is a solid movie, and people should go to the theaters and see it. Like, just support it.
I think the Rotten Tomatoes score here and IMDb score are greatly unfair.
Yeah, like look at these scores. These scores are bullshit.
63% is insane.
No, this is a solid movie that tackles real themes that people actually go through in a very creative way, and has a good cast that gives solid performances. Like, I thought, like when this kid was crying at a certain point, like I thought his cry sounded very authentic. I thought that was very good. And Halle Berry is she's decent in everything, quite frankly.
Yeah, I just love in the earlier scenes too, which was like talking. She was like making the kids pray, whatever else. Like the twinkle in her eye.
Yeah.
And how serious she was with her eyes alone. I thought it was like very powerful.
Yeah, like honestly, she didn't even need the knife held right to their throats for that. She could have just stared to it. Just
honestly, I didn't completely ignore that. I just saw the face.
Yeah.
The face, that's what drew me in.
To be fair, it's kind of easy to ignore that because every time we see it, like the knife is almost off screen. Like it's just barely on screen.
She shines it for a little bit and it goes off screen.
Yeah, it's like constantly hovering at the bottom of the screen. We're more focused on what's like where Halle Berry's face is.
Yeah, we tend to focus on the central focus of the scene.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like we're not looking at the bottom left of the tier. We're focusing straight ahead, the main focus of the scene, which is her.
Yeah,
but yeah, like my score for this, I'll give this 85.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking the same. Like Mark thinking about going to the theaters. I think 85. I think this is a very solid movie. Yeah. This is the best horror movie. Excuse me. This is the best horror movie we've seen probably in years, honestly.
Yeah, in years. Long Legs did not impress me.
No.
Many of the horrors did not impress me.
Quiet Place Day 1 didn't impress us.
I forgot that existed.
Yeah. We had some pretty good horror movies last year, but I don't think any of them really lived up to this heights.
At best, they were like, oh, it's cool.
Yeah. Like, we had some good ones, but I feel like this is a notch above all those.
Yeah, this is, like, easily... The best thing is maybe Talk to Me.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Talk to Me was good, but even then, I like that more because of how unique it is, and not so much, for being a particularly amazing movie.
It is a movie that actually has me invested.
Yeah, this movie has high stakes drama and good questions and really gets you immersed into what's happening.
I see why they took it to theaters. It was worth it. It's actually good.
Yeah, this is a solid movie, and I really hope it gets the support it deserves.
I do too. This movie deserves to make a lot of money. If a Smile can make $200 million, this movie should be able to make that.
Yeah, this is way better than Smile is. Smile is another one that's just okay. Yeah. With that being said, folks, I think that's all we have to say about this movie. Yeah, so please support it in the local movie theaters. Support local movie theaters in general. Always go see good movies when they're out if you can. Please do. And also like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for some more content.
Later, guys.